All right. Welcome to another edition of Politics Alive with Neil. This is Neil, of course. And hey, there's a whole bunch of huge stories in the news. Of course, the biggest story is the 2024 election. And Democrats, boy, oh boy, are they excited by Kamala Harris's new VP pick, Tim Walz. So Governor Walz, besides his affable personality, the Democrats are claiming that his manliness, his masculinity is terrifying to Republicans. He's a manly man. He's not afraid of women. He's not afraid of Black people. He's not terrified of the future. And to that, I say, yep, you got us. It's definitely his masculinity. It's not his support of high taxes. It's not his support of socialism. It's not his support of illegal immigration that terrifies us. It's not the fact that he did nothing while Minneapolis burned all around him in the BLM riots. It's not that he wants to take away our guns. It's definitely his masculinity. So to Tim, balls to the walls. What an alpha Chad, am I right? All right, so yeah, hey, let's move on to the top of the ticket, Kamala Harris. So according to a recent survey, most Democrats don't know these things about her record. So 78% were not aware that Kamala Harris promoted a fund to bail out violent protesters during the 2020 BLM riots. 77% were unaware that Kamala Harris supported abolishing ICE. 74% were unaware that Kamala Harris said it should not be considered a crime to enter the USA illegally. 75% were unaware that Kamala Harris was named the most liberal U.S. senator in 2019. 72% were unaware that since being named border czar, Kamala Harris never visited a conflict zone on the border, not even once. And last but not least, 71% were unaware that Kamala Harris supported reparations to atone for slavery. All right, so after reading that, my only real question is if Democrat voters knew she was a pro-rioter, pro-illegal alien, reparations-seeking liberal with a failed record on border security, would that hurt her or help her? All right, so yeah, hey, let's pivot to another story about the Democrats. They had their convention coming up. And look who they invited to speak. This is Jeffrey Marsh, and he received a special invite from the DNC to be a featured guest. So Jeffrey is known for telling kids on TikTok to cut off contact and disrespect their parents. He also has a Patreon where kids pay to talk to him privately. Nothing suspicious about that. But hey, what happened to Jeffrey? But I'm just wondering, hey, Democrats, is this another one of those manly men like Tim Walz? All right, so hey, let's pivot in the interest of bipartisanship. Let's pivot to the Republican side of things. So this is actually some good news. Republican voter registration is 4 times higher than Democrats in the swing state of Pennsylvania. So that's a start, but registering alone is not enough. You still got to vote, especially with some election integrity experts pointing out that Republicans need to win by more than 5% to overcome systemic Democrat Party election fraud. Or at least that would be the case if we didn't have the most fair, wink, wink, election in American history. All right, so hey, let's shift gears to foreign policy. So I guess this week is the 3-year anniversary of the Joe Biden or the Harris-Biden administration absolutely disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan. And besides the biggest disaster was that 13 Americans unnecessarily died in that withdrawal. But also another big problem with that was the United States left $85 billion worth of military equipment behind. The brainchild of this, the person who said, oh, yeah, we should do this was the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Mark Milley. So after this happened, Donald Trump spoke to a few people, and here's what he had to say.
You got a $50 million airplane. You got a $29 million gorgeous helicopter. We had every type of helicopter. Many of them brand new, literally out of the box. $70 million planes. You mean you think it's cheaper to leave it there so they can have it than it is to fill it up with a half a tank of gas and fly it into Pakistan or fly it back to our country? You think, yes, sir, we think it's cheaper, sir. That's when I realized he was a fucking idiot.
All right, hey, what do you guys think? Was General Milley an fucking idiot to leave behind 85 billion of U.S. arms? Well, not everyone is critical. Take a look at this.
دا د امریکایي اشغال د هیواد د ازادۍ او فتحې په دې مراسمو کې د اسلامي امارت هوایي ځواکونه هم پوځي نمایشات ترسره کوي او د زمیني ځواکونو ملاتړ کوي. هوایي ځواکونه په اوسني عصر کې د یو هیواد د دفاع له اساسي عناصرو ګڼل کیږي.
All right, well, yeah, I think you get the idea. That's a parade held by the Taliban showing off all of the equipment that Joe Biden left behind after his withdrawal from the country. So, hey, say what you want about the Taliban terrorists. It's always nice when you give someone a gift and they seem to really love it. All right, hey, in tech news, Apple Computer is standing up to racism. They're banning white men from their entrepreneurial camp where they support young tech hopefuls. So finally, a left-wing corporation is doing its part to crush the dreams of young white men in the name of greater diversity. I just hope those denied use this time to think about their white privilege. All right, and last but not least, we have some news from the world of medicine. And this is breaking news. The World Health Organization has just declared monkeypox a public health emergency of international concern. Oh, great. I guess I can't have anonymous gay sex this weekend. All right, and that concludes this edition of Neil News Network. If you enjoy, please like and subscribe. And this is Neil. Good day.